my question is, I feel like the consumers are now getting wise to the board shapes and the wheelbase, and they're more wise than we were back in the day because
very clearly.
Because of you, because of the Ben DeGros out there, because of the people who are teaching people about all this stuff, right? So I feel like
but
the
also
consumers,
the reality is the world's become a little bit more technical, and we all walk around with one of these, right? So this technical awareness, the things that I might have said 20, 30 years ago that flew over people's heads, don't fly over people's heads anymore.
Because
you can Google something and find a plausible answer. It used to be like, hemp homes, right,
Hemp homes, we don't know about those.
But when we Google hemp homes, we're going to find something. We're going to think this is a joke, or it's plausible, or it's feasible, or it's happening in this region of the world, because they got so much hemp, they don't know what to do with that in that region of the world, right? But you don't live in that neighborhood. It's not that way for you, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee you there will be comments filled up in the comment section of this episode saying that people want different wheelbases according to their height, which they can't get right now.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I think the consumer's becoming more wise to all this, and they want that. But it's up to the companies to give into that and invest in that.
It's part of it as a consumer being, I'm more concerned about my product than the newest, flashiest graphic. That's the hard reality. Because in the skateboard business, it's hard to sell what's old, and it's easy to sell what's new.
Come on, bro. Graphics suck these days. They're not. It doesn't. They're not like what they used to be. You know.
I know some cool ones coming out.
I don't think there are some cool ones.
I think
you're right. You're right on that.
Yeah.
I look at the skateboard wall at a skate shop, and I just don't see any. I mean, some are cool. Don't get me wrong. I should not say everything's whack. That's
right. But
not
in my viewpoint, skateboarding's better than it's ever been. Like all disciplines of skateboarding are done. Like Andy doing freestyle, right? Like downhill, slalom, pools, skate parks, half pipes, street, backyard pool. Doesn't like it's so wide and diverse. And then the graphics are the same thing. It's real wide and diverse. The issue you don't have is you don't have that iconic
Mike Valley graphic
or Valley graphic that was on the wall for 2 years because it was that good, and people are impatient now. Like, I don't want that thing. It's been around for 3 months.
That's my point with the graphics being not as good as they used to be because of the burn and turn mentality that the skate companies have. They have like this drop, then the next 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 drop, and you're like, we're not even halfway through the year, and you've already done like 8 drops.
Right.
Those graphics got to resonate on that wall. You go in there, and you'd go into a skate shop like seriously like 5 times in a matter of a year and a half, and you'd see the same board. So that's why, I mean, for me now, seeing those graphics, those retro graphics come back, I'm like, dude, this is like warping me back into that time.
Right.
Because I remember those graphics.
Youth. I want to become young again, right?
Yeah, well,
but the landscape is now you walk into a skate shop one week and you walk in the next week and there's a whole different style. There's a whole different graphics up there. And that's why I'm saying, like, I feel a lot of it's a burn and turn mentality. Like, we just got to get these graphics out there.
Right.
Like,
so as the consumer voting with your dollars and saying, here's what I want, right? But it's hard because in a sense, I have all the time people going, well, can you give me your advice and customize this? And I almost can't. I don't have enough time in my life to go customize everybody's setup, but the reality is there's certain people I work with that I interact with where I get something out of it too. It's like I get the joy of it to start with. Cordano is a joy to work with, and like Mike Sinclair. Happy birthday today, Sinclair. He's 52.
Hey,
happy birthday,
that's
Sinclair.
And I talked to him yesterday about something, and I helped give him some perspective on things. And he comes to my shop and says, hey, can you help me with this? And we're trying to help him tune in what he's doing. And it's a pure joy, Right. But he also has done the same thing for me for concaves in the past.
Right.
Oh, this works for me. This doesn't work for me, right? Like we have that product development relationship,
How do we get to the point where the boards are customized to the person, though? I think because I'm sitting
that's
here.
That's the more DIY neighborhood kind of thing.
But is it though? I guess you're right at this point because like I'm 6 foot, and just by you sitting here, I want to try a 15-inch wheelbase board. Maybe I might not stick to it, but like I want to try to. I've never changed my wheelbase. I never even had control over my wheelbase.
Right. So you're conditioned by what you grow up with. So to be clear that someone that's long established like yourself, it's hard to go into change.
Okay.
Why do I ride 16-inch wheelbase? I'm off the chart because If you're from the 70s, add an inch.
Oh, you have a disclaimer down there?
Disclaimer at the bottom, right? Like I started in the 70s. That's where I'm conditioned from,
Okay.
right? And as much as I'm tall and everything, that's really where I'm at. But you could try it, and if you were going to go skate a pool or a half pipe, you would feel much better on it, I guarantee. But in a street manual thing, I don't think so.
You don't think it would make a big difference?
I don't think it's going to make a big difference for you.
But you have a whole chart here.
But if you're jumping downstairs and you're falling off the front of your board all the time,
Okay.
your wheelbase is too short.
So it doesn't apply.
If you're jumping down stuff and your knees are knocking against each other, they're knocking because your legs aren't far enough apart because your wheelbase is too small.
Paul, my knees have
And
never knocked
The
together.
minute your knees knock together, you're out of balance. You're done, right?
It doesn't apply to your height then.
No, it does.
It apply. But you just said I'm
but
6
puts you in
foot, but
a
it doesn't
zone.
apply to my manuals and my ledge skating.
Based on the type of skating you do.
Right.
But I'm saying my personal thing from my experience was I wouldn't try to change you.
Right.
You're not the skater that needs it.
Yeah,
if
but
you were
Paul-
Jaws jumping off a roof, I would say lengthen your wheelbase. That's not who you are.
I know, but I think that
I know you want to be that, but
Would you say what a ledge skater or a manual type dude would have would have shorter wheelbase?
well, we'll keep on getting complicated. What trucks are you riding?
Oh, I'm with Thunders.
Okay, well, we'll put you on a shorter wheelbase. You'll be better.
Okay.
What trucks are you riding?
independent thunders.
Okay. That's your problem. You need a longer wheelbase now that you're riding indies. Your Thunders, you don't need a longer wheelbase.
Okay. I'm
You
glad
can
you
change
cleared that
3/8, half of an inch just by the brand of the truck. Your actual wheelbase. So we sell a skateboard on the wheelbase and the truck holes, right? The real wheelbase is the center of axle.
Paul.
I know it's complicated.
No, I get frustrated because where is this information being kept? If I'm a consumer and I want to know everything that you're talking about here with the trucks and the shorter wheelbase and the Thunders and the thing, there's nowhere I can go to be like, okay, I skate Thunders and this is what there's. You don't understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand what you're saying.
Like, I don't understand why there's no website like Create a Skate or something like that has
Or
a
it
database.
just says it on the website for the trucks.
There you go too,
Yeah,
right?
it can just say
the
it on
truck
there.
companies
Yeah.
don't.
Well, I remember
advertise
doing
this.
something about some different trucks a while ago in a
did.
post, and it got lots of interest. And
What was it?
The fuck with the truck, your guys were on Instagram were like, wow, all those people were super excited about it. I'm like, well, and they're like, well, why doesn't each company tell us? And like, Indy's job is to say, we're Indy, we're fucking badass. Fuck you, okay?
Whoa, the
And Venture's like,
Paul. The nanotubes.
Venture's like, we're cool, we're hip, we're fresh. Come with us.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
They're so
It's the
distracted.
image.
They're so distracted by marketing that the substance of their product is not part of their discussion. Now, those are both brands that make great product. They've made great product for decades, right? So we have no debate, no doubt in them. But the reality is, they're still a brand,
Right.
and they're not marketing that, right? They're not marketing the comparative. They're just sort of saying, our ego's the best, right? We got the best team riders. We won this event. Our guys are in the best videos, skater of the year, whatever it is, right?
Do you think that indies have a better, like, for transition skating or for, like, ledge skating?
I know a lot of great street skaters who ride indies.
Yeah,
Right? So it's
for
not,
sure.
It's not that. I mean, I would say when it comes to half pipe or bowl, there's the older school guy like me has that preference. I mean, I rode indies for years. The last year I've been riding slappies.
Okay.
And
Are
I'm-
those
and
how
I'm
do
loving
those
them.
how do those relate to a Thunder or an Indy?
The wheelbase is just a little bit bigger than a Indy, not by much. I think, was it a 16th of an inch or 1/8? I did some stuff with Sinclair a while ago, and he's going to put something out. So pay attention to Slappy Trucks, because he's trying to say, have fun with us, and here's where we're at. But basically, Slappy's in the middle.
Okay.
That's the reality. And that was Sinclair's intention when he started, is I want to be in the middle. I don't want to lean one way. I don't want to lean the other way. I want to be in the middle. But the reality is that what bushings are you using, how much you tighten them down, all those things affect your wheelbase. They all affect your function. And everybody figures out what they like. They just don't know why. And they don't realize how much this piece is interacting with that.
I love you, Paul, but you fuck with my head so much, dude. You know what I mean? Because like I think a lot of people out there want to experiment, and I never
Right.
was an experimenter when it came to my board. But like, just talking to you and sitting with you, I want to experiment, you know. Do I want to go through the turmoil of having a bad session? No, but I feel like I want to explore the trucks and the wheelbase and this and that. You know what I mean? Because like I think any skater out there, if I can skate just a little bit better, it's a win. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
if you feel
that's
better,
where
that's what
if
matters.
You feel better.
If you feel
totally, and it equates down to your gear.
Right.
If I'm wearing my shoes and I'm looking down at my shoes and I don't like what I'm looking at, that's going to affect me.
Oh yeah. No,
If I don't like my board and I'm looking there and I'm and in back of my head I'm like, if I only have 15-inch wheelbase board, maybe that's the problem. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of people out there struggle with this type of stuff too, you know?
The madness,
well,
dude.
The madness.
Dude.
right. Well, you hear the board madness thing, and people talk about it, right?
Right.
As I said earlier, the board always gets blamed for the board madness, but it's a combination of everything.
everything.
For sure.
You know,
for
it's
sure.
a combination of everything. But the board can solve it easier than the other parts can, and it can also run it astray easier. So just to be clear, you know.